Hello viewers, today I will talk about the pillar of light that is known as Jyotirlinga. The main objective of this lecture is to identify the major Jyotirlingas in India. I have already talked about the aniconic form of Lord Shiva in ancient Indian texts and in art. In my previous lecture, I threw light on Vanalingas, and today I will talk about the pillar of light in ancient Indian texts and the places where these Jyotirlingas stand. Shiva is conceived of as the great pillar of light. He is the infinite tower of fire, Agni Skanda, whose two ends are hidden in mystery. No one knows about its terminal point. It is the universe itself, of which the beginning and the end remain unknown. The Jyotirlinga represents light, which is encircled by a garland of flame, rising from the earth to the heaven and transmitting light and heat to all those who come within its areas. Rudra is the god of fire himself in the Vedas. Fire symbolizes the creative energy. It is thrown up in manifest form by the churning of the primeval ocean. It is the place of Varuna and Agni, and both are the two parents of the universe. The interaction between the two is essential for creation. No one understands the mystery of fire. It is said that once Asuras approached Brahma, the creator himself, to know the mystery of the fiery pillar, and the Devas requested Vishnu to find the depth of the pillar in the Patal. Brahma, seated on his Vahana goose, and went into the measureless space and did not discover the beginning of the pillars. As Brahma ascended, he found the Jyotirlinga rising still higher and higher. He saw that a small flower of the Ketaki plant was coming from above towards the earth. Brahma asked the flower from where it began its journey and whether he was coming from the upper end of the great pillar. On the flower saying yes, Brahma got evidence that he reached the upper end of the Jyotirlinga. Both came to Vishnu. Vishnu inquired whether Brahma had seen the upper end of the measureless pillar, and Brahma replied in positive and indicated the flower as eyewitness. Vishnu spoke the truth that the tower of light and energy was out of all bounds of measurement. So he paid his homage to infinite Lord of creation that Rudra Shiva was. Brahma and Ketaki flower had spoken lie, and both were made the object of imprecation. The result was that Brahma had hardly temple for worship, and the Ketaki no longer was offered in divine worship. We have numerous references according to which the immovable linga of Shiva is equated with the sun, the central point of solar energy. The sun stands for the celestial Agni. Rudra is identified with Agni in the Vedas. The sun is the visible form of Rudra Shiva, and his rhythmic movement of radiation is the dance of Shiva. The movements of his rays are merely the dance steps of the Tandava performance of Shiva being seen by the goddess Mahashakti and by all the gods. Surya was considered as the great symbol of the divine reality, that is Brahma, as mentioned at the very outset of Vedic formulations. Brahma, Surya, Samam, Jyotish. That is, Brahma has the same splendor, that is, with the sun. It is not the physical sun that rises in the heaven, but it is the majestic principles of prana. Surya is the visible symbol of Jyotirlinga. V.S. Agarwal describes the towering pillar of light and radiation which has pierced every atom and life cell and has transfixed all objects and beings in the universe. There are millions and billions of suns, all arranged as one axial alignment, whose energies, like the symphony of a chant, mingle with each other and create such deep stirring as permeate the remotest end of the cosmos and fill it with heavy emotions. Energy has two aspects of light and heat. Rigveda rightly says Sahasrata, Mahimana, Sahasrama, Yavada, Dyavya, Prithvi, Tattvadit. The metaphysical doctrine is that the Creator and his creations are both coeval and coexist. The two aspects of the male and female, the heat and the light, the immortal and the mortal, the gods and the bhutas are compared to a single bow termed Lila Lohita. The Jyotirlinga was earlier conceived in the Vedic imagery as the arrow, piercing the earth and the heaven with its two ends. The same gave to Rudra Shiva the appropriate title of the great hunter, brandishing his bow and roaming to the farthest ends of the primeval forest that was the universal self. Regarding the origination of the Shiva Lingas, which is popularly called Jyotirlinga, one interesting legend has been recorded in the Janana Samhita, chapter 2nd and 3rd of the Shiva Purana. Brahma, the Lord of creation, originated on the lotus which was standing on the navel of Lord Vishnu, who was lying on the endless Ananta bed floating on the surface of the endless all-pervading ocean. Above this ocean, there existed nothing excepting vacuum. In this vacuum, the only thing found by the newborn Brahma was the very lotus on which he took his origination. The only sport of this lotus was its stick, inside of which there was a vacuum. The newborn god naturally became curious to learn from which place the said stick arose. The stick being very magnetic, the vacuum inside it was adequate for easy movement of Brahma, and as such he, out of curiosity, entered into the stick and ran towards, but could not reach the bottom of the stick. Brahma was disheartened. Suddenly Vishnu appeared on the scene and told him that due to Maya, he was failing in his attempts. Brahma was not willing to accept and challenged Vishnu in a dual fight. So both started fighting, and the entire universe was at the verge to burn. Suddenly, Shiva appeared in the form of a huge column of blazing fire for protecting the universe. This linga, according to the Shiva Purana, looked like an endless volume of blazing fire, accompanied by its thousands of flames. Because of its blazing character, this Shivalinga was called Jyotirlinga. It had neither increase nor decrease in its form, and it had neither had any base nor any upper limit, nor any middle point. In the Shiva Purana, this Jyotirlinga is described as Koti Surya Sama Prabha. It means emitting effulgence comparable with a combination of those coming out of a crores of suns, which undoubtedly separates him from the sun itself. The Skanda Purana identifies this linga with the endless vacuum. The Shiva Purana, Janana Samhita, refers to the different forms of linga, that is the huge form which pervades the universe, and the atomic form which resides in the heart of a living being. This indicates that the linga in reality is identical with the Lord Almighty, the all-pervading, omnipresent. He is described as the creator, protector, and destroyer of the universe, and at the same time is represented as the very non-existence. This Lord has also extraordinary compassion as his special characteristic, which he bestows upon his devotees and the virtuous. Shiva, being the source of the entire knowledge, therefore, he has been rightly described as an endless column of blazing fire. The sound Om arose out of the Jyotirlinga when the Lord was propitiated by Brahma and Vishnu with their suitable stotras. The Jyotirlinga shrines thus are placed where Shiva appeared as a fiery column of light. These are 64, while 12 of them are considered to be very auspicious. All these are Stambha pillars, symbolizing the initiative nature of Shiva. These 12 Jyotirlingas are Somnath in Gujarat, Malika Arjuna at Sri Sailam in Andhra Pradesh, Mahakaleshwara at Ujjain in Madhya Pradesh, Omkeshwara in Madhya Pradesh, Kedarnath in Himalaya, Bhim Shankara in Maharashtra, Vishwanath at Varanasi in UP, then Trimbakeshwara in Maharashtra, Vaidyanatha Jyotirlinga at Deogarh in Jharkhand, Nageshwara at Dwarka in Gujarat, Rameshwar at Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu, and Girishankar at Aurangabad in Maharashtra. It is mentioned that Moon was married to 27 daughters of Daksha He favored only Rohini and ignored other queens. Daksha cursed moon and the moon lost light. Brahma advised moon to go to Prabhas, Tirtha and build a linga and worship Shiva. Pleased with the worship, Shiva blessed him with the light. Shiva decided to rest in that lingam till eternity. Moon built a golden temple followed by a silver temple by Ravana. Krishna is believed to have construction of sandalwood in this temple. Mallikarjuna temple, also known as the Kailash of the south, is situated on Shri Shaila mountain by the bank of the Patel Ganga. According to Shiv Puran, when Lord Ganesh was married before Kartikeya, he got angry. Despite being consoled by his parents, Kartikeya went away to the Krancha mountain. Both the parents too went the Krancha mountain and decided to stay. When Kartikeya came to know, he went away. Eventually, Lord Shiva assumed the form of Jyotirlinga and resided on that mountain by the name of Mallikarjuna. Mallika means Parvati, while Arjuna is another name of Shiva. It is believed that by merely seeing the tip of mountain, one is relieved of all the sins. According to Puranas, the city of Ujjain was called Avantika, and most of the students used to come to study the holy scriptures. According to the legend, Chandrasena, the ruler of Ujjain, was a devotee of Shiva. One day, a boy named Shrikhar entered the palace and heard the king chanting Shiva's name in this temple. He too went in the temple and started chanting the same with the king. The guards pushed him out and sent him to the outskirts of the city near the river Kshipra. The kings of the neighboring states decided to attack Chandrasena. Shrikhar heard this news and started praying Shiva for the safety of the king. The kings were successful and attacked all the devotees of Shiva. Upon hearing the destruction, Lord Shiva appeared in his Mahakala form and destroyed all the enemies. Shrikhar and Bridhi, the devotee of Shiva, requested the Lord to stay back in the city. From that day, Lord Shiva resided in his light form as Mahakala in a lingam. The Lord blessed his devotees that they would be free from all sorts of diseases here. Omkeshwara Jyotirlinga is formed by the sacred river Narmada. It is situated in the Khandwa district of Madhya Pradesh. Hindu scriptures say that once upon a time there was a great war between the Devas and demons in which demons won. This was a major setback for the Devas and they prayed to Lord Shiva. Pleased with their prayers, Lord emerged in the form of Omkeshwara, Jyotirlinga, and defeated the demons. Kedarnath is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. The older temple existed from the times of Mahabharata, when the Pandavas are supposed to have pleased Shiva by performing austere tapasya. He appeared before Pandavas and told them, "From now I will remain here as a triangular shaped Jyotirlinga." Bhima Shankara is one of the most ancient shrines of Maharashtra and also one of the Jyotirlinga among 12 Jyotirlingas of Lord Shiva. According to the legend, Tripura performed penance in the forest of Bhima Shankar. Lord, pleased by his worship, blessed him with the power of mortality, which he misused. To kill him, Lord Shiv and Parvati both underwent a new rupa, which is known as Ardha Nateshwar. Kashi Vishwanatha temple stands on the western bank of the holy river Ganga in Varanasi and is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. A Shiva temple has been mentioned in Puranas, including Kashi Khand of Skanda Purana. Trimbakeshwara in Maharashtra is an ancient Hindu temple in the town of Trimbak. The extraordinary characteristic of the Jyotirlinga is that it has 3 faces of Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Rudra. The linga is covered with jeweled crown which is placed on the gold mask of Trinity. This temple is in Trimbakeshwar, where the ashram of Gautam Rishi was prominent. Devgarh is known as Vaidyanath. Legend has it that Ravana meditated on Shiva and requested him to come to Sri Lanka. He attempted to lift Mount Kailash, but Shiva crushed him and Ravana sought his mercy, after which Shiva gave him one of the Jyotirlinga with the condition that if it was placed on the earth, it would take root immediately. Naveshwara temple is one of the 12 Jyotirlinga shrines mentioned in the Shiva Purana, Satarudriya Samhita. It is believed as the first Jyotirlinga on the earth. The Shiva Purana says Nageshwara is in the Darukavana, which is an ancient epic name of a forest in India. According to the legend, a group of dwarf sages worshipped Shiva in Darukavana for a long time. To test their devotion, Shiva came to the Vana as a Digambara ascetic, wearing only nagas on the body. The wives of the sages ran after Shiva and the sages got disturbed. They cursed the saint to lose his linga. It fell on the earth. All the gods went to Shiva to take it back. Shiva consoled the gods and took it back. It is mentioned in the Vamana Purana. Ramanatha Swami temple is a famous Hindu temple dedicated to Shiva in the state of Tamil Nadu. This temple is one of the 12 Jyotirlinga temples where Shiva is worshipped in the form of a Jyotirlingam. According to Ramayana, Rama, the 7th incarnation of Vishnu, is believed to have prayed to Shiva. To worship Shiva, Rama wanted to have the largest lingam. He instructed Hanuman to bring lingam from the Himalayas. Since it took longer to bring the lingam, Sita built a small lingam. Grishneshwara temple is located 11 kilometers from Daulatabad, near Aurangabad. The legend is that a woman, Kusuma, worshipped Shiva regularly by immersing Shiva Lingam in a tank. Her husband's second wife murdered her son in cold blood. One day, her son was restored to life. Shiva appeared in front of her and is known as Kusmeshwar, Jyotirlinga. According to the Matrika Veda Tantra, the Shivalinga worshipped at the temple on the Mount Kailash is superior even to the earlier Shivalinga of Varanasi, and the former has its holiest antiquity. Shivalinga of Kailash was built by Mercury, and that it was known by the name Jyotirlinga. The Shiva Purana tells us that even long before the birth of Rama, the Shivalinga named Vaidyanatheshwara was founded on the Himalayas by Ravana. From the Ramayana of Valmiki, we know the temple of Shivalinga on the Himalaya had been regarded the permanent abode of the Lord. It is interesting to note that Jyotirlinga represents a state of completion, whole which constitutes two aspects, male and female, that is the Nada and Bindu. The Nada represents Shiva and Bindu stands for Shakti. Thank you very much. Thanks.